Okay, in this lessons right here, we're gonna solve log equations. Before we solve log equation, let's remind ourselves of two properties that we're gonna be using in these lessons. You've learned these properties from chapter 5, so this is just to remind and to refresh your memory, okay? So the product property, log mn, when we expand them out, it's gonna be log m plus log n, okay? And for the quotient property, it's going to be log m minus log n, okay? So keep this in mind, copy it down, so that way you won't forget. Okay, let's move on. In number 1, notice we have two logs right here equal to a number. What we want to do is we want to condense this two logs into one log. So this is a plus, we're going to use the product property, right? So it'd be log base 2, 9 times 4x, not n, equals to 2. After we have a log by itself equal to a number, we're going to convert to exponential form, okay? So that's the rule. After you have a log by itself, the next step is always exponential form. So exponential form is going to be 2 to the second power equals to 9 times 4x, okay? So 2 to the second power equals to 9 times 4x. And we learn how to convert log to exponential property from chapter 5 as well. So 2 to the second power is 4 equals to 36x. And then we divide both sides by 36. X is going to be 4 over 36. Reduce it, we're going to have 1 over 9. Now, when it comes to log, we have to make sure that the answers is okay, meaning if you were to get the answers plugged back into the original problem, like this answer right here, 1, 9, plug into x, and it produces a positive numbers, that means that answer is possible. Whereas if you plug it back in and it gives you a negative numbers, then that answer is not possible. It will be no solutions, okay? But since it's a positive 1 over 9 times a positive 4, it will be a positive numbers. So 1 over 9 is an okay answer, okay? Number 2. Number 2, same thing. From the two logs, we want to make it into 1. So it's going to be log base 6, 3x. So since it's a minus, so we go down here at the bottom, is quotient equals to 3. So 6 to the third equals to 3x over 2. So 6 to the third is 216 equal to 3x over 2. We're going to put this over 1 and cross multiply like this, okay? So 3x times 1 equals to 216 times 2. So 3x times 1 is 3x equals to 432. And then when you divide this by 3, that's going to give us 144. And just like the previous problem, we do check to make sure it's correct, or give us the positive numbers. So 144, if we were to plug this answer 144 into here, x, it gives us a positive. So this answer is okay. Okay, it's safe. Okay, next one. In number 3, same thing, we're going to convert these two logs into 1. So log base 3. This positive x goes to the top. This negative right here goes to the bottom, equals to 1. And then next step is exponential form, 3 to the first power, x over x plus 4. And we're going to put a 1 underneath here and cross multiply like this. So 3 times x plus 4 equals to 1 times x. So that's going to be 3x plus 12 equal to x. Subtract 3x to both sides. So we get 12 equals to negative 2x, and then divide both sides by negative 2, x equal to negative 6, okay? X equal to negative 6. Okay, just like the previous problem, I'm going to plug negative 6 into the problems and make sure that it's okay. if we were to plug -6 into this x right here, notice it gives us log base 3 of -6. That tells me that this answer right here will not work. Okay, so for this particular problem, it's no solution. Let's move on to number 4. At number 4, same thing, we're going to condense this. So we have log base 7 x plus 6 using the product property. We get that. So 7 to the first power equals to x plus 6 times x. It's condensed and then exponential form. I hope you guys see the pattern, okay? So step 1 is condensed, step 2, exponential form. Then notice here 7 to the first power is 7 equals to x squared plus 6x. Subtract 7 to both sides. We have 0 equals to x squared plus 6x minus 7. Now I'm going to factor. When we factor, we want to make sure that the first two terms multiply will give us x squared, and the last two terms multiply will give us -7, but add up is going to be +6. Okay, so x and x will give us x squares, and the two terms multiply give us -7 and add up equal to 6 is going to be +7 and -1. These two numbers will work. So x plus 7 and x minus 1 equal to 0. So x plus 7 equal to 0, x minus 1 equal to 0. So x equal to -7 and x equal to 1. Here, again, we have to check our answers, and if we plug in -7, notice into here, it will not work. It's going to be log base 7 of -7. That's a negative number, so base does not, log cannot have a negative base, so therefore the answers can only be 1. It's a positive base, okay? This will not work. Moving on to number 5. Same thing here. I'm going to condense, so it's going to be log base 8, x squared minus 1 on top, 6 goes to the bottom because it's minus right here. Next step is exponential form, so it's going to be 8 to the first power equals to x squared minus 1 over 6, participle 1, and then we're going to cross multiplied, so then we get x squared minus 1 times 1 equals to 48, 8 times 6, okay? So x squared minus 1 equals to 48. Now we're going to add 1 to both sides. We have x squared equal to 49. Then we're going to solve this using the square root method, plus or minus, x equal to plus or minus 7. So we have two answers. One's a +7 and one's a -7. And if you were to plug it back in and check, both answers will work. So in this problem, you will have two answers.